Okay, hello. We are here in a new episode of Second Voice. And today I have here Camellia. She is in Portugal. How are you doing, Camellia, today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. I found you on the internet because I'm subscribed to your newsletter,
Mhm.
and I've been listening to some of the episodes of your podcast. Uh, so I know a little bit about you, but today I want you to tell us your story with language learning, living
Mhm.
abroad, and being a global citizen. Uh, so we are here today for that, and I want to start at the beginning, as usually I do with guests, and I want to know where exactly were you born, and
Mhm.
how was your place when you was a kid? You were a kid.
Yeah, I was born in Jinan, China. So it's a eastern part of China with 9 million population. It's
Okay.
not a big city in Chinese concept.
Oh yeah.
So it's capital city of Shandong province. I don't know if you know much about Shandong. Shandong province. Shandong is famous for the birthplace of Confucian.
Confusion.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
a very well-known Chinese intellect and philosopher. So people regard people from Shandong. So Chinese people think people from Shandong province are smart and
Oh really?
honest, obey the orders. Yeah, a lot of good traits. Yeah.
Oh.
So when I grow up, everybody very focused on education. You need to be the top student in school and in your neighborhood, and you need to study very hard to go into the college.
Yeah.
So people, regard education as a top thing for their children.
Okay. So it's Shandong, yes,
Yeah,
Shandong,
Shandong province.
and the Confucianism influence. Yeah.
Yeah, because Confucian, he was born there, and there's a
Ah.
big temple of him,
Okay.
and so every year, I don't know if you know much about Chinese education system. So every year we have a national college national college entrance examination, which
Oh
means
yeah.
you compete with like 10 million people to
Wow.
get into the college.
Oh, wow.
Probably only 10% will get into. So
Yeah.
it's a very competitive market.
Wow.
And so a lot of parents, they will go to Shandong to worship the Confucian, to
Oh wow.
make a wish for their children to go
Wow.
into the
So
college. Yeah, it's quite interesting.
it's a tradition that still is happening nowadays.
Yeah, it's a tradition. Oh, people climb the mountain. There is a Mount Tai in
Yeah.
Shandong as well. I think it's the most famous mountain in China, and a lot of emperors in Chinese history, they normally worship in Tai Mountain. So a
Oh
lot of parents also bring their kids to climb the mountain and worship there.
wow.
Yeah, my dad took me there before the college entrance examination.
Wow.
Yeah. Although we don't quite believe it, we don't believe any religion, but it's just something like a tradition. You
Yeah.
need to do it.
Oh yeah. In how was Jinan at the time in terms of community and maybe in international visitors? It was an international city, like, or not so much.
Because my dad, he's a professor from university, so I always live in campus, and we have a lot of international students from
Mm.
Africa, Korea, Japan. So I would say my environment is very international. But overall, yeah, Jinan compared with Beijing or Shanghai, Jinan is not an international city, and people don't speak English that well.
Ah,
But
okay.
when I grow up, I have a lot of like my dad's friends. They teach English in university, so they can speak English, and I kind of learn English very early when I was in kindergarten.
Oh, so your dad was an English professor. Real.
My dad, he teach accounting, but he
Ah,
studied his MBA in Australia, so he can speak
ah,
basic English. Yeah.
okay, okay. I understand.
Yeah, and my mom, she's from academia background. So my grandfather, he went to America so many times, so he can speak perfect English, and my mom can speak a little. So
Okay.
yeah, so for my upbringings, I kind of exposed to international environment at a very early stage.
Okay, okay. And so how did you remember those days? That how did you feel living in that environment?
Yeah, I feel I'm very special. I mean, a lot. My parents, they are not like traditional Chinese parents, like push
Mm.
their children to study hard. I remember my parents always let me play, do whatever I want. And sometimes my grandfather, because he has relevance from states, so my grandfather's relevance come visit me, bring me a lot of American things. So I always have an
Ah,
American dream. I want to go overseas. I always have this dream. And then my parents, they are very encouraging. So they let me choose my path. They let me do singing, dancing, calligraphy,
mm,
whatever I want to do. Yeah, they never send me to after school to study because back then a lot of my peers from primary school after they finish school around 4 or 5 p.m. they'll go to the after school to learn math or
mm,
literature or physics, all those academic curriculums like for 5 or 6 hours. So it's
yeah,
very, I'll say pathetic life because they don't have
yeah,
time to play as a
yes,
kid. But
yes.
that's not the case for me. I play video games and play outside all the time. Yeah. So
Oh,
I know I'm a special one. I don't know. I mean, a little bit sounds a little bit arrogant, but that's a fact.
yeah, yeah. I can imagine. I've heard that about Chinese system school even today. Yes,
Yeah.
it's still working like that.
Yeah. Because the large population, that's the only way you can change your class. If you are from rural area, if you want to change your financial situation, that's the only way you study hard, then go to the college, find a good job, then earn
Skill.
money. Yeah, that's a traditional way to make the improvement of your life.
Okay. Okay. And how did you remember the school system when you were a kid, maybe in high school, about learning languages? How was that in China?
Learning language, yeah, I think the school I went to, we start to teach English since primary school. So yeah, it's quite, I think it's quite an advanced thing to do. I mean, yeah, I always think Chinese education system is underrated because I
Mhm.
learn a lot. I got a chance to learn English, chemistry, physics, math, and yeah, so many different variety subjects I can learn, which provide me a good foundation for my future because I can say, oh, which subject I'm very interested in or which not. Because people always say our Chinese education system is like you need to recite everything. Like you need to work very hard
Yeah.
to get a good score. But I think that's necessary because when you are little, you have no idea what you are good at, what you are passionate about.
Yeah.
But if you build that strong foundation, it
Yes.
kind of provides you an opportunity to know what you like and
Yeah.
what you don't.
So
Yeah.
you feel that the school system in China makes you experiment as much as you want? Like it's kind
I
of
feel so. Yeah, I think if I have a kid, I probably want him or her to go to China to get at least the 9 years complementary education, because this is such a good foundation.
yeah.
So they all say, "Oh, Asian people are good at mathematics, good at
Yes, I've heard that.
numbers." Because we all built a very strong foundation. I think it's very necessary.
That's
Yeah,
great. Yeah. Yeah, it modeled your thoughts to like kind of, yeah. And it maybe help you with creativity also, which is something not mentioned related to Asian studies or Asian schools sometimes. Could be that.
Yeah, I think I think it just depends on the teacher actually, because we all have the similar textbooks. If the teacher knows how to teach you, and you will have curiosity to learn.
Yes.
Because if you just read the book or recite everything from the book, you won't have that huge passion about this subject. I remember when I was in secondary school, my English and physics and biology is so bad because I don't like the teacher. I don't like the way they just read the book. But when I enter the high school, I changed the teachers, so I become very good at those subjects. I think it really depends on the person.
And the
I don't know
teacher.
about other people, but for me, if the teacher knows how to teach, I can learn quickly and fast.
So you enjoyed a lot learning in your school and at home, really. So
Yeah, my dad and mom, they are voracious readers, so we
yeah,
have a huge bookshelf. So I read a lot.
yeah,
So philosophy,
yeah,
history, geography, and everything.
yeah. I've been checking some of your book lists on your website. Yeah, kind of know. Okay. So you started learning English at home and also in school. And how is your level when you left the school in English?
I would say because I went to New Zealand as an exchange student. And the moment I landed and started to talk with Kiwi, I thought, oh my God, my English was so bad. I have no idea what they are talking about because a different accent.
Yes.
So I learned my English by watching American TV show, and the English classes, the teacher all speak American English. So yeah, I just feel like it's so different. It took me
Yes.
probably 3 months to get adapted to the Kiwi accent.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I want to stay there. Like you went to New Zealand when you were in high school or when you were in the university?
In university. So I did 3 years university in China, and last year you got a chance to go to overseas as an exchange student. So I went this program. So for me, I think there are 10 students from my class. We went to New Zealand together.
10. Wow.
But I was the only one left living in New Zealand because they all go back to China.
Okay.
Yeah, back then I would think, I quite like New Zealand. I want to stay to learn more. Yeah, so I did a 1 year postgraduate study in New Zealand, then found a job, then live there for 10 years.
Oh, and what was your program in China in the university?
So it's a double major bachelor degree. So Bachelor of Arts. So in
Arts.
China, I majored in English literature and international business. And if I join that exchange student program for 1 year, I can get a bachelor degree of arts in New Zealand. So majored in English literature as well.
So English and business. No, English literature and business together.
Yeah. I also did accounting. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
curriculum design in China.
Yeah,
So
because
basically, if you have a time, you can just go to other department to learn.
wow,
So, because my dad, I went to the same university as my dad. So his old classmate now become my professor in university now. So my
wow,
dad say, okay, you should do some business classes because my old schoolmate, he was teaching there. I said, okay, I'll go.
wow.
Then I learned accounting, finance, but I don't like it. And I
Yeah.
told my dad, "Oh my God, your classmates, they don't know how to teach. It's so boring."
Yeah, because what surprises me is, yeah, the intersection between literature and business, just something rare in a person, usually. Yeah, I've studied literature here in my country,
Oh,
Spanish
cool.
literature.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, but it's very difficult to find a person who do studies in literature and in business at the same time. So it's
Ah.
special. Um, so you studied that in those two fields, and then you got that program. You went to New Zealand
Yeah, then I
for
studied
furthering.
international communications, which involved more with marketing and communications.
Okay, okay. And how was your life there in New Zealand? So how many years you stay there, and what do you do?
So in New Zealand, after I graduate, oh, when I was in the school, I started my career as a journalist. So I worked
Nice.
at Sky Kiwi. So it's biggest Chinese media company in New Zealand. So I started my career there because when I got this opportunity, I showed them how I did my journalist work back in university, and I started my blog. So I'm good at writing. Yeah, so they
Hmm.
hired me. And after I graduate, I got a full-time job with Air New Zealand as a social media specialist. Basically, I manage all their social media channels, doing content, organize events, and doing PR campaigns, like took journalists to Seattle to review the Boeing flight. It's quite cool.
Ah, okay.
And then later I joined the bank, Westpac. It's the
Think.
biggest bank in Australia and New Zealand. So I was there as a digital communications manager, mainly
Ah,
doing external communications, like doing on content and media relation.
mm.
Yeah, so my
You,
life there, I would say it's pretty good.
yes.
And in other people's perspective, I was pretty successful. I made good money and got a good job. Yeah, life was very smooth. Yeah,
Yeah.
went smoothly for me. So yeah, I
Yeah.
was living in New Zealand from 2010 to 2019. Then I
Oh,
moved
okay.
to England.
Okay. And could you get involved in the social life of New Zealand? I guess you made friends there. You felt like welcomed. It was good for you that experience at social levels.
Yeah, I will say that. I think Kiwis are the nicest per people in the
Yes.
world. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
New Zealanders, they are so friendly and yeah. If you go, you walk on street, people smile at you, greeting
Hmm.
at you.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, and they help you with everything basically. Yeah. And
Great.
it's very easy for me to make friends because I'm very outgoing and I like
Ah,
to
okay.
go to social events. And
Ah,
so
okay.
I made friends, both yeah, Chinese and Kiwis or other international friends there. Yeah, I would say, yeah, on social level and on my career level, yeah, New Zealand life is very valuable to me. But later on, I realized I need a big stage. I feel
Yeah.
like New Zealand a little bit too small for me.
Small.
So that's why, yeah, I left. Yeah, because New Zealand only have 4 million population. You can imagine that. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like for my personality, I wasn't very I wasn't a good fit for corporate life because I'm a very self-driven and have so many ideas. Corporate life kind of limited my
Yeah.
creativity and abilities. So that's why I left. I quit my job and so
And
moved to London.
oh yeah, yeah. So you left New Zealand, you didn't go back to China, but you just directly went to London, England.
Yeah. Because I go back to China every year to visit
Ah,
my
okay.
family and friends. But yeah, after I left China, I never want to go back to live there. Because as I mentioned, I was a journalist, and it's pretty hard for me as a journalist and as a blogger to live in China because the censorship. I got so
Ah,
many
okay.
articles being banned, and
Oh, really?
this year I can't log on to my Weibo, which means I lost 150,000 followers because I
Wow.
probably wrote something like
It's a
the
big
government
audience.
doesn't like. Yeah. But
Wow.
yeah, I kind of accept that. I know that's the reality. There's no way I could fight back or whatever. This just the Chinese value of censor the content. Yep.
Yeah. And just to know, so you were writing as a journalist for your own publications, or you were working for medias, and you talk about some topics like sensitive topics.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I started to write a blog, which I
Mm,
wrote book reviews or football games review and
okay.
some criticize for government. Because, people, when you are young, like 16, 17 years old,
Yeah.
you definitely critique your governments. Yeah. So
Yeah.
my blog was kind of on and off being censored, then being banned, then later on it's open. Because I used MySpace at that time
MySpace.
and
Yeah.
but now it's already gone. And when I went to the university, I was working in the media department of a student association, which means I need to promote my university and I need to write a lot of reports the government lacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you need to listen to what listen to the order from the above, then write the articles. So kind of tired of that. And when I
Uh,
went to New Zealand, continue my journalism while I was doing my postgraduate diploma. Yeah, all the reports you need to very pay attention to the taboo word like Tibet or
okay.
Taiwan, those kind of things. Yeah.
So
So I kind
yeah.
of already knew this, but sometimes I just can't control, but criticize or mention something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there are topics that you cannot talk about
not
explicitly.
really.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you ended up in London, in England, and why did you choose London, and what do you do there?
So when I moved to London, the priority goal for me is to watch football. I'm such a football fan.
Me too.
So yeah, and I played Fantasy Premier with my friends. I always want to watch Premier League live.
Wow.
Yes, so that's the primary reasons I moved to London. And also, as I mentioned, I love reading, and I grew up reading a lot of English literature and poetry. So yeah, England's always on my list to visit. And then it's pretty easy for me move from New Zealand to London because there's a Commonwealth country agreement. So if you are under 30, you get a 2 years working visa. No matter you have a job or not, you can just move there. So I
Oh,
went there without any job. So I kind of want to have a gap year, and also I have my side business as a media company. So I occasionally do some client works to help startup founders with the content marketing. Yeah. So that's what I did when I was in London. And COVID happened. I was stuck there.
Okay. So you arrived London which
In
year?
July 2019. So I got a half a year to explore England.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you could go to some Premier League games before COVID.
Yeah. I went to Man City because I love Pep Guardiola. I
Oh,
grew up
really?
watching Barcelona team.
And the
So
Cruyff
Barcelona,
philosophy.
yeah. Johan Cruyff, yeah.
Okay.
I read his biography, My Turn.
Yeah, I
Oh,
see.
so good.
Yeah, I see in your list that. Yeah, it drags my
Yeah.
attention. Yeah, later we can talk about that.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk
Yeah.
about football.
Yeah. So, so you stayed in London during the lockdown. So, what do you do there? Maybe it triggers your creativity.
Yeah, I wrote a book during lockdown. I was so bored. I live by
Yeah.
myself and I kind of don't know what this COVID can like. Because back then, I think March 2020, nobody knows what's going on
Yes.
with this virus. Can be very deadly or whatever. So I'll just stay home and go, because I live nearby High Park. So I go outside every day. As a rule, you can go outside once a day, walk, do exercise.
Yes.
So I have a lot of solitary moments in my life.
Yeah.
This kind of living, this writing, and go out and do exercise for like a couple of months. Yeah, when I was living in London. Then I got a job offer to work in Latvia and Kazakhstan.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a very interesting
Yes.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, then I went there, then go back to London. Yeah, kind of working. Yeah, then got another job opportunity to work for New Zealand government, still doing marketing and communication consultant. Yeah. So
Yeah, but
life there is quite very simple.
yes,
I'll say.
and all the jobs that you got were in English. It requires you to speak English and work in English exclusively. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, yeah, tell me about your book, because you wrote the book in English. Yes.
Yeah. That's my
Okay.
first time write in English,
In English.
to write
But
a book in English. Yeah.
so before, have you had written a book in Chinese, or it was your
Yeah.
first book ever?
Yeah, I published a book when I was in primary school. It's a novel about some ghost story. As I mentioned, I'm full of ideas and imagination. So
Oh,
I
okay.
love writing when I was very little. Yeah, every time I
Okay.
read something interesting, I would just write my own version of the story.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this book in English, what was the story?
So it's I'll say it's a half memoir. It's about a girl who was born in China but living in New Zealand and England, kind of
Just like you.
self exploring about identity. Because I always have this question about my identity. Shall I say I'm a Chinese or I'm a New Zealander or whatever?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe me. And I changed so many different jobs, different industries, and changed countries. And
Yeah.
my personality constantly change. So I don't know who am I if people ask me, where are you from? Or
Oh, really?
what do you do? I don't have a solid answer to those questions.
Wow.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that book is kind of about a girl's life experience, exploring her identity, and also some I'll say the culture shock is like, when you as Asian living in Western country, you probably experience something in both social level or in workspace, like discrimination or
Okay.
yeah, those kind of things. So yeah, that book I will say like probably half of the stories based on my own experience. Then the other half is a fictional.
Okay,
Then
okay. Yeah. So you've experienced those like discrimination problems in some place where you've lived?
not to me. I will say I never experienced like racism, those kind of things. But I do heard a lot of my friends they
Okay.
experience that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But for me, I think yeah, if you read the book, you probably can see some more like a female experience, like sexual harassment, this kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I did experience that. Yeah, I'll say it's even harder as an Asian living in Western country because people kind of put you into the box. They will say, okay, you are Chinese. I kind of have the idea what a Chinese girl should behave, like
Yes.
obey or like, yeah. So yeah, I did experience that. But as like Asian, because some Asian they got attacked by Western people, but this kind of violence I never experienced.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I
I
did
get it.
heard from my friends or read from news. Yeah, this is still the issue. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I've read about that. Yeah, in the US sometimes. Yes. Um, and how did you end up in Portugal?
Yeah, it's yeah, after 2 years living in London, since my visa is expired, and I also feel like I probably need to change the environment. Like I always like changing.
Really?
So and yeah, back then I think I read on Nomad list, like digital nomads, where is the hot spot for digital nomads. Lisbon is always on top.
I've seen
So,
that.
and yeah, and Madeira back then was regarded as digital nomad island. So I went to
Madeira.
Madeira first. Yeah. So Madeira is in Portugal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
lived
know.
there for 1 month and yeah, then went to Lisbon. Yeah, I quite like here because one of my favorite writer, Fernando Pessoa,
That's why, yeah.
he was from Lisbon. So I said, oh
Yeah.
my God, I feel like, I feel he was still here. So I
Yeah.
love the vibes and love to walk the streets he walked and see the
Oh, really?
sceneries we saw. We were, yeah, kind
Eh,
of indulged in my literature
yeah.
dream. Yes.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, yeah, Lisbon is nice.
Yeah, it makes sense because you were talking about like sometimes your identity you are changing, and he is an author with many identities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
Yeah. I'll say, because when people ask me, who is your idol? Who do you want to be? I said, yeah, Fernando Pessoa would be one of my answer because I
oh
want
yeah,
to create so many identities to,
yeah,
yeah, try
yeah.
different style of writing, live different lives. Yeah.
Yes, 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 for sure. Yeah, I've read some of his poems, sometimes texts. Yeah. Okay, so and did, could you learn Portuguese there?
Yeah, I always said I'll start to learn Portuguese, but not officially started yet. Because in Lisbon, everybody speak English. I kind of, this is my lazy excuse to not learning Portuguese since I don't, it's not necessary since
Yeah,
everybody speak English. You don't have the pressure to learn, but I
yeah.
do want to learn.
It
Yeah.
And it is because Portuguese people speak English, or you find international friends there?
I think local people can speak English very well in Lisbon. I talked to you. I lived in Aveiro for
Uh,
5 months. So Aveiro is a city between Porto and Lisbon. But that is a very small city, and not many people speak English. Yeah,
okay,
when I was there, I kind of have the urge to learn Portuguese. But since
okay.
I moved to Lisbon, not at all. Like
No.
local people, they speak English very well.
Okay, okay. So you just know the basic in Portuguese now.
Yeah, like bom dia,
Bom
tudo
dia.
bem.
Tudo bem?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, those very basic one. Yeah, I can order in the restaurant. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, okay. And your plan is living in Portugal for more months or years?
Yeah, I got my residency visa, so I'll probably stay here for at least this year, I'll say. Yeah. I can't say forever, not possible. I'll
Yeah,
say, well,
not for you.
yeah, yeah. I'll say what's life going to take me to. So, but for now, I'll
Okay.
stay here.
Okay. So now I want to talk about your online projects because you are very multifaceted and yeah, very productive. Something that grabs my attention is that you have a podcast where you interview people, and your first episodes are in Chinese, a lot of them, and then in English. So how did you decide that? To create a podcast in two languages is something I haven't seen until now. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the beginning, I think in 2017, I had the idea to create a podcast. And back then, I was with my ex-boyfriend, and I said, okay, let's do it together. So the first episode we recorded on the car after we watched Dunkirk, the movie. So we talk about the
Uh,
movie, our
okay.
view about this movie. Yeah. So then I feel like, okay, it's quite good. After I published, so many people listen. I said, oh yeah, that's a good sign. Let's continue doing it.
Yeah.
So I start to talk more about philosophy, relationship, and technology, like Bitcoin. Because back then my ex-boyfriend, he's Ether miner. So we start to talk about blockchain and Bitcoin, those kind of topics. Yeah,
Okay.
and in 2018 we broke up, and I kind of still want to do this podcast. And my ex-boyfriend, since we broke up, but we are still friends. So we say,
Yeah.
okay, let's still do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, we kind of still do it. Yeah, we were friends and we're doing it. But in 2019, since I moved to London, it's not very ideal for the time zone, or we live in different country now. It's pretty hard to do it. So I kind of thinking I probably need to do some English content now, since I'm living in English speaking country. I need to make friends. Podcast would be a good tool if you want to interview people. Yeah, we just yeah, that's a very good way to make friends. Yeah, I had this thought, but never put it into action. And is back then I was attending online lecture for 1729. It's a website, it's a like newsletter page with crypto. So biology was a guy behind that. And I met some online friends from that community. And the guy called Chance, and he encouraged me to, maybe you should do an English podcast to interview the community member. I said, okay,
Okay.
let's do it. So I interviewed Chance. So that's how my English podcast started. And yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Chance to give me a motivation to do it. So I always
Yeah.
want to do it in English, but never make it happen. Also, when I write my English book, is I don't know if you know James Altucher. He's a very successful investor and
Yeah.
podcaster.
I know
Yeah,
him.
he initiated the activity to write book in 30 days. during
Oh, yeah.
lockdown, since everybody is so bored. And I said,
Yeah.
okay, that's a good motivation to do my book. So I
Yeah.
did that. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I need a push to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have so many ideas in my head, but just, okay, one day.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you've been very consistent in the podcast publication, so many episodes. And also you have a newsletter. It has the same name,
Yeah,
Kiwi
Kiwi Journal.
Journal.
Kiwi, so it's a Chinese Kiwi. So I regard myself as a
Ah,
Chinese
okay.
Kiwi. Yeah. So
I was
Kiwi.
wondering why Chiwi. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that
Kiwi
makes
sounds
sense.
cute.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
very catchy. Chiwi,
Yeah,
the
Kiwi.
name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Chinese Kiwi.
Kiwi.
That's great. A great name. Yeah,
Thank you.
Chiwi
Yes.
Journal.
So yeah, I do that monthly newsletter, just practice my English writing. Because
Right.
when I was working in corporate, I write in English, but it's more like a corporate copy. It's different
Yes.
from the newsletter style. So, and for this newsletter, I've been write, I think 13 issues. So every month I publish, probably around 5,000 words. So I still think my English writing skill is not that good. I still in a practice mood, but
Okay.
I think maybe end of this year I'll start to think about how this newsletter future, like maybe
Yes.
do something different. But for now, I'll still keep writing monthly in English. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I do the same. I have a monthly newsletter, but in Spanish.
Oh,
Yeah. And it's very
cool.
similar to
Okay.
yours, like
Yes.
content creation. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, and sometimes I struggle with the content creation processes. Yeah. So you write the book, you write the newsletter, you publish the podcast, and you have also an agency, yes? Y Media?
Yeah, One Media is my company. I built it in, I think 2017 or 2018. Yeah, as a side hustle. Because back then, a lot of my friends, they want to do like, a lot of tech founders, they have the idea, but they don't know how to communicate this idea to the public. So I help them making a website or landing page or write a blog or write some content for social media channel to help them promote their brand. Yeah, that's how it starts. Now it's, now I have occasionally one or two clients
Okay.
to help them. Yeah. But I don't feel like it's my ultimate passion. It's just helping friends.
Okay.
Yeah. So I still think writing would be my passion. I want to be a writer.
Oh, really?
Prolific writer, a good one. So
Yeah.
I'm still practicing. Yeah, I'm very confident with my Chinese writing, but English,
No?
not that good.
Even when you've already published a book in English.
Yeah, I just first try. I don't have I just feel like okay, that's my first book. If it sucks, that's okay. I'll do better next time. Yeah, but
Yeah.
this year I think I'm going to publish my second English book. It's a collection about short stories.
Fiction.
No, I don't know how to describe them. I'm very into consciousness and dream and philosophy. So all
Okay.
those short stories in this subject.
More reflections.
You can call it fiction or science fictional short stories. Kind of explore something unknown. Like with the current technology, we probably can't solve the problem, like why people have a deja vu and why they can see the vision and
Okay.
or some spiritual exploration and some
Okay.
thriller or murder stories, some dark
Okay.
side of human beings. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will be the
Okay.
book about. Yeah.
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 You self-published your book.
Yeah, I'll self-publish. Yeah,
Okay.
before I try the publisher, I try to find a good publisher. Oh, the process drove me insane.
Yeah.
So from the time you contact them and to the book published, probably around at least 5 months. And you need to wait, and some
Mm,
editors may not like your writing. They'll
yes.
make a change, and your book would not look like what you want it to look to
Yes.
be. Yeah, so I always treasure the freedom and the content creation side, like revealing who I am. So I don't want to go to the traditional publisher. I think self-publishing would be a
Yes.
good way. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And now that you've lived most of your life in two languages, in Chinese and in English, do you feel that when you speak English, you're a different person than when you speak Chinese?
Yeah, I also mentioned this issue in my novel.
Uh,
I did feel like, I think when I speak Chinese, I would be, I don't know, more calm or more knowledgeable. So, English is still not my
yes. Yes.
native language, and
Yes.
a lot of my ideas and thoughts I can't use English to describe, and
Mm,
people probably feel like, why you use those simple words and you can't even like speak very fluent English. So people
yes.
probably treat you as a moron, some
Yeah.
retard sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like, when I speak English, I feel a little bit stupider than when I speak Chinese. Yeah. I don't know why, but
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
It's curious because you can feel that, but on the other side, you publish a lot of content in English. So you dare to do that without feeling like embarrassment. It
I
makes,
don't think I have an ego or something like that.
yeah.
I think that's a trait I kind of developed for myself. I don't afraid of criticism, because
Okay.
when I had on Weibo, when I have 150,000 followers, of course you will receive criticize and the
Yes.
people disagree with you. I think over the years, I kind of, it doesn't matter what people say about you, because your ability, you have a benchmark, and even people people praise you or criticize you, your ability is still there. It won't change. Depends on people's review. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm still open to receive constructive feedbacks, but those criticism, I don't feel like they will help me do anything. So just ignore them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do whatever I want to do and keep on a good track for because I can see a clear path of myself. So I won't listen to other noise who will stop my journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me remember the book, the Courage to be Disliked. Um, yeah, it's by two Japanese authors. Yeah, it talks about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And now we can talk about the bonus topics. Um,
Okay.
yeah, which is football. I know you're a fan of football. I've seen some of your picture maybe in Camp Nou in Barcelona.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
there April this year, finally, after 20 years.
Oh, dreaming about that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of my goals for the next year. Um,
cool.
yeah.
Are you
So
a
you
Barcelona fan as well?
well, actually, I was more Messi fan
I
than
see.
Barcelona
Yeah,
fan.
yeah, I
And now
see.
the situation is a bit
Yeah,
complicated.
I
Um,
know. Yeah, you
yeah,
went to
but
PSG. Yeah.
yeah, and but something interesting. Maybe I've read this in one of your blog posts on your website. Is that you like the Cruyff philosophy behind the Barcelona style, no? And what do you know about that? So why do you like Barcelona? Is for Cruyff, it's for Guardiola, is for the philosophy behind
Yeah, so at the very beginning, I was following Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So ever since he joined Barcelona, I started to watch Barcelona. So
Okay.
it's in 2003.
Yes.
Yeah, I was crazily in love with him. I watch every game.
Wow.
Because, you know, when I was in China, the time was very bad. I need to wake up at 2 or 3
Oh, really?
a.m. to watch the game. Yeah, but
Wow.
I always do that. And my dad sometimes join me to watch it as well. Yeah, and then since I follow him and follow Barcelona, I start to learn the history of Barcelona and why Barcelona, when they play with Madrid, there's such a great tension because there's some
Yes.
historical issue with dictator Franco. Yeah,
Yes.
so, and I say when I read the history of Barcelona, I see Cruyff as a player helped Barcelona win so many titles, and as a coach, he also did a great job. So I start to say Cruyff's old videos and also learn his Netherlands way of playing football. Is total
Total
football,
football.
attacking
Yeah.
all
Yes.
the time. Yeah, and start to learn how he used his strategy to play a very beautiful game and can always win. Yeah, that's triggered me a lot. I feel like, because before I always thinking, people in sports, they must just have a good body, maybe no brand, have this
Oh, yeah.
stereotype. But ever
Yeah.
since I started him, I feel like, wow, you need to use your brand to win. Then later on, Javi, Iniesta, they use their brand to help Barcelona, and Pep Guardiola. It's just a dream team. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the more you learn, you kind of more fall in love with Barcelona.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
Ronaldinho left the club, I still watching Barcelona. I feel like, yeah, that's my club. That's full of
Okay.
wisdoms. Yeah.
So there's something special there because you say that, yeah, first you maybe can think about athletes like just a sportsman, physical activity, but then there is
Yeah.
something intellectual to think the game, how to
Yeah.
win. Yeah. Yeah, it's something that I feel Guardiola works a lot on that, and
Yeah. True.
you can see it in their teams because you can recognize a team of Guardiola even when you don't know that it's a team coached by Guardiola, which is different from other teams. And talking about that, so is the style that you like most, and and many defenders of Guardiola, they they dismiss the other type of styles of football. Like, for example, do you know Atletico Madrid of Simeone?
Yes.
How they
Yes.
play?
Too many. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a controversial about that, controversy about that. How do you see that type of style?
Yeah, I call for Simone. I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly. Simone or
Simeone.
Simeone. Yeah, I remember in the World Cup 1998, David Beckham
Oh, yeah.
kicked him, caught the
Yes,
red
yes.
card. So since then, I have a very bad impression about him. I always dislike him, and since he yeah start to coach Atletico Madrid, I don't like his. I think it's something like from every early stage you don't like them, that never. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, because for football, I like to watch attacking. I want to,
exactly.
and I want to watch a good game. And I don't quite like Mourinho's game. His strategy,
Mourinho.
his strategy is sort of like defending, like doing
Yes.
like 10 players like defending. It's, I know he can win, but that is a boring game. Nobody wants to see like people like all gathered in the back
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
defending. Yeah, so I don't quite like his style. But
Oh,
Guardiola's, the
you're,
passing,
yeah,
everybody
you're,
can be a striker. Yeah,
You're a football romantic fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like a lot that style, but I appreciate the other styles too. Yeah.
True.
I think there are spaces for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. And nowadays I'm very into Belsa, the
Bielsa.
former Leeds
Bielsa.
coach Belsa. Okay, yeah.
Wow. El
He's
loco Bielsa.
he's because Guardiola mentioned him like
Yeah.
the number
It's my
one
goal.
in strategy. Yeah. So I want
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
learn more about his strategy to learn how he did
Yeah.
that.
I think
Bel
you will like him when you read more about him. He's very special in his personality and the way
cool.
he thinks about life. You know, he
Yeah.
when he here in South America, he's very well known. He's from Argentina, and he coached the Argentina national team and the
Yeah.
Chilean national team. And those two teams played very well under the style of Bielsa. He revolutionized the football in Chile,
Yeah.
and he was very successful. But the way he managed teams is very special. And how he, for example, sometimes, not many times, he refused to coach big teams because
Okay.
he wanted to support the little teams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Leeds.
So
Yeah.
that's the reason. Yeah, how he coached like teams, not the big teams in France or in England. The last one was Leeds. Yes,
Leeds.
I
Yeah.
think
But he
Leeds.
got
Yeah.
sacked. Yeah.
Yeah, Leeds or Montpellier in France. Yeah, yeah, it's very special his story. Yeah,
Would
you will
love to
like
know
him.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So now, well, now you maybe you have suffered the loss of Manchester City against Real Madrid.
Oh, I watched that game in a bar. Oh my God. Want to cry. But that's life. Yeah. Next
Yeah.
season, we got Erling Haaland. I think, yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
great. Yeah.
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 He
Yeah.
he just signed for Manchester City. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. He
Haaland.
signed. Yeah.
Yeah,
So next season, yeah,
yeah,
we'll be
yeah.
there.
Maybe yeah. Yeah, maybe we will have a we will have to have another podcast for talking about football.
Okay,
Like,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
there are
would love
many
to. Yeah.
when I have my podcast about football.
Nice. Yeah. I would love to talk more. Yeah. I love
Yeah,
this sport. Yeah.
yeah. I want to do something before we end, which is something I usually do with guests. And well, my native language is Spanish. Your native language is Chinese. And I would like you to teach me one word or phrase in Chinese, and then that you like for the sense, and then I can convert that phrase or word into Spanish, and I can teach
Ah,
you to say
cool.
that in Spanish.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So think about that. What do you want to teach me? Could be a phrase like or a word that is special in Chinese.
Okay. I can see, yeah, it's just some sentence pop up into my mind. It's called 缘分天注定. It means serendipity is fate. It's kind of
Oh,
if
okay, okay.
you translate into that is yeah. Maybe you can just yeah. We'll do it simple. You can say 缘分 with serendipity.
Okay, you
Yeah.
you teach me word by word, and
Okay.
I can say
Yeah. 缘
yuan
分
fen
分 yeah 缘分
yuan fen.
yeah. It means serendipity. Yeah.
Is it that
Yeah. It's a
yuan
word.
fen?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, just one
缘
word.
分 yeah yeah.
Yeah, but you said serendipity is fate.
Yeah, if it's a long sentence, it's 缘分天注定.
Yuan fen jian zhu din.
Yes. Good, great. Yeah, yeah. So this
Okay.
is the whole sentence. Yeah, so serendipity
Okay.
is a fate. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Serendipity is a fate. Okay. Well, I will say in Spanish
It'll
the
be
same.
hard.
Yeah, but well, serendipity, serendipia in Spanish. It's not a common word.
Ah,
Probably many people don't know, but it's serendipia.
Indipia.
Yeah, serendipia.
Serendipia. Serendipia.
Serendipia. Yes.
Serendipia.
Yes. Yeah. But now I'm remembering something about Pessoa that I like a lot. A
Yeah.
phrase in Spanish. Well, it's translated into Spanish, which is la única inocencia es no pensar, which is in English is the only innocence is do not think. That's a phrase of Pessoa.
Yeah.
And it's always in my mind. La única inocencia
La única inocencia
es
es
no
no
pensar.
pensar. Es no pensar.
No pensar is no, do not think.
No pensar. I see, yeah.
Yeah, because
Wow.
it maybe it reflects the idea of overthinking, no? The damage of overthinking things.
Yeah.
So
Just go with flow. Never
Yes.
overthink. Yeah.
Flow. Yeah, flow. Yeah, flow. Well, that's it.
Cool. Thank you.
we're-
Very nice
we're
to
at the
talk to
end.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been awesome to know about you, about China, New Zealand. Yeah, your bilinguism. Yeah. And thank you for this, Camellia. Yeah, thank you for this, and probably we'll have a talk maybe later soon.
Sure.
Okay.
No problem. Very nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you.